Hi guys, welcome to AFC Game by Game, and in this video I'm going to be discussing something which is taking the internet by storm, essentially for all the wrong reasons. It is the self-proclaimed partner fan, and it's a website, app, whatever you want to call it, that has gained a lot of popularity for coming under quite a lot of scrutiny in recent weeks, in recent days in fact. It has been so heavily criticised, and if you take a look over the website, you can totally understand why. It seems to rely on exploitation of fans that aren't so accustomed to the English game. That's just my perception of it. I have taken quite a thorough look over it over the past couple of days and some of the companies that are associated with it, and I'll get onto that a little bit later. But my overall vibe that I get from it is that it relies so heavily on fans coming over from places like Asia, from America, etc., going for a match day experience, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and it's a way for the common fan like you or me that can kind of exploit that in a way and makes a little bit of pocket money from fans that don't really know their way about London or Manchester, etc., any English club essentially. So it's not something that I would like to be associated with myself. It's something that I could totally associate with modern football, which is a sad reality. It kind of really does fit into the bracket that is modern football and fits in with the ridiculously high season ticket prices, the ridiculously high ticket prices in general, and some of the fans that go to games, those kind of fans that just sit there on their phones all game, and just things that shouldn't really be associated with football as I know it. But sadly, this is what modern football is coming to, and it's things like this that really don't help improve the beautiful game. It's devastating, really, that people can. I don't know how people can go onto a website and charge people to go to the pub with them. In a nutshell, it's weird. Above all things, I mean, there's a million and one things you can call it, but the one word that I would describe this is weird. And surely it's going to be awkward if you're going up to someone and you're like, all right, mate, do you want to come to the pub with me? All right, that'll be 20 quid. What? What is up with that? It doesn't seem to make any sense whatsoever. I mean, does that mean if that person's in the pub and this other person, this tourist, happens to bump into them in the pub, they can't go up to them and just say, oh, you're all right, mate, can we just get a drink? I love some of your work, etc. And it just doesn't sit right with me. It just seems really weird. It seems like these people that are putting themselves on there seem to really hype themselves up. They seem to have massive egos, and they believe above all things that they're celebrity fans, which is not a thing. It's absolutely not a thing. As a fan, I like to think that I'm kind of equal to each and every other supporter of my club, and I don't really buy into this term that there are celebrity fans out there. There are popular fans. There are people like that Portsmouth guy who wears all the hats and all that, and he's got the tattoos. You've got people like Robbie, etc. Adam McCullough, full-time Devils, like people that other people know because of their reputation across social media, etc. But they're not different from the common fan. They don't put any more, I don't know, effort or whatever into supporting the club like you or me. I mean, I certainly wouldn't regard myself as one of these fans, and I think it's really rich of someone to really hype themselves up to that kind of ego, really. And one person that has really, I don't particularly want to name names, but one guy that I actually met after we beat United 3-0 was Stephen Howson, who on Twitter is at Mr. Stephen Howson. I don't want to lay into him at all in any way, but he's a guy that I went up to after the United game, and he had a face like a slapped arse, and I just went up to him, patted him on the back, and was like, mate, I really like the stuff you're doing with the full-time Devils. And he's one of the people that has since gone quiet since his page has been found out on the Partner Fan website, and he was charging people £1,000 to go and meet with a legend, and he was charging people to go down the pub, stuff like that, things that tourists shouldn't have to pay for. And yeah, like I say, I don't want to lay into him, but I just think it's a bit odd. I just think it's a bit weird of someone with his reputation to be kind of putting himself on the line like that and causing so much controversy around himself. As well as that, you've got people like, you know, I might as well talk about my own company. Well, not my own company, but the people that I'm associated with, Arsenal Fan TV. Just want to quickly draw the line there. If anyone does think that Arsenal Fan TV are exploiting this system in a way, if you look over their website, it clearly states that the donations and profits that they get from this concept will be donated towards Save the Children. So make of that what you will. I mean, I'm not really someone that knows the ins and outs of that kind of stuff, but it says it on the website, and to be honest, that's enough for me to have my mind at rest. But there are a load of other channels that are buying into this concept of extorting the modern day fan who's coming over from the likes of America and Asia. And I do think the people coming over, the tourists, are to blame in a way as well, because they don't exactly help themselves. They should take a little bit more independence rather than rely on others, and they shouldn't have to pay money to what is, frankly, get a mate for the day. They should be able to just go out there. And with things like YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, it's so easy to link up with people in opposing countries and make friends and get a whole social media network together of people. I mean, you could organise a day out of about 5 to 10 people from anywhere in the world, meet up for a game at United or whatever, and that would be a great day out for everyone. You don't have to pay money for that kind of thing, but there are millions of people, I reckon, who would pay 20 quid to just go down to a pub in Manchester and sing a song with a couple of United fans. That's just the way the modern game is. People from other countries have a lack of understanding of the way the modern game is from a fan's perspective, and what the common fan like you or me is to do on a match day, and you can see why people think they should have to pay money for that kind of thing. Looking at it from the defensive point of view of people that are using this website to essentially gain a bit of extra income, it is a way to, like I say, gain extra income, and in a way they are providing a service to these people. They are giving up their free time. They're showing people around the city, etc., for free. And one thing that I can kind of understand payment for is tours, stuff like that. Tours, if they're going to do a professional guided tour, then I don't really see the harm in charging someone 15 to 20 quid for something like that. But it's people that are charging things like going down the pub. That's the one that I just find weird above all things. If you go to a pub on a match day, not only is it going to be packed and it's going to be like, there's going to be an atmosphere in there anyway, you shouldn't have to pay for that. You just walk into a pub and you can meet people in the pub. It's weird. I've said it quite a few times now, but it is odd that people would pay for that kind of thing. But like I say, if you're not accustomed to the English game, then you won't know these kind of things. But getting back to the standpoint from the people that are trying to use this to create a bit of extra money for themselves, yeah, the tourist one is the only real one that I can understand. I can understand people that feel so passionately about their club and are so knowledgeable about their club that they feel that they can provide a service to people that want to gain interest in a club that they want to invest their time in. So, I mean, I can kind of see it from that point of view, but I don't think they should be charging the prices and stuff that they are. And there are people that are using this concept for good. If you know someone like Kenny Ken, who looks like the built version of Ty on Arsenal Fan TV, got the headphones, the glasses, really nice guy. He does, he's using this at the moment. I believe it's him anyway, and he's providing a service to people at no cost whatsoever. And there are also people like other Arsenal fans that do charge, but for things like accommodation and stuff like that, which in a way is kind of helping because it's giving a knockoff price to things that would cost a lot of money if they were to book into a hotel in London, because that, as I know, would be extremely expensive. So there are ways this can be used for good, but I think the bottom line is that there needs to be an alternative concept where people don't have to pay for this. There should be a networking scheme where people that want to volunteer and give up their free time, maybe people that are looking for work experience, that kind of stuff, young people such as myself who would be willing to give up their time throughout the summer holidays, that kind of stuff, and volunteer to take these people around London. If they know enough about their club and they can deliver a professional setup, then I do believe that would be a great thing to do. And if it isn't particularly up to the standards of the person buying into that, well, they're not really buying into it because it would be free, then there's no real love lost because they wouldn't have paid for it in the first place. So there's kind of no counter argument there. But that's just my perception on it. I think it's a really weird scheme. It has both its positives and negatives. But on this one, my verdict is that the negatives definitely outweigh the positives. If there was some way of getting a scheme together where people like Kenny Ken of Arsenal Fan TV, people that are willing to give up their free time to show fans of other countries around the stadiums, around the local towns, then that would be absolutely fantastic. But whilst they're having to pay for it, like I say, above all things, it is weird. It is a really weird thing to do, just to take someone to the pub with you and charge them 20 odd quid to do so.